Yeah.
Safe. Thomas Carr and Wyland is excused today and Stewart's here. Public comment on agenda items. I don't see any public today. Chair comments. The only thing I got is I just wanted to publicly thank Corey for his hard work with our commission for the last year and a half, I think, Corey. And we certainly appreciate your input and your the work that you put in, very much appreciated. So thank you, Corey. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but every year by law, we have to elect PFC officer positions.
Didn't we do that in April? Or isn't that when we do it?
I think we do it in September every year. Did
Oh,
we do it in April? Oh, God, isn't that funny?
Just a minute.
I should know.
Let me look.
All right.
I thought it was done after that organizational meeting,
Well, you know what? With my memory, I would trust yours over
but I
mine.
don't know if we did it or not. I don't remember that.
Well, it doesn't happen in here. Right?
Well, it happens at the.
Yeah, it happens in our meeting,
The
our
officers. yes.
officers. For
Our
PFC,
officers,
pres, vice president, secretary.
Oh, I don't remember doing that.
or maybe we didn't then.
I'm looking at the April minutes.
I didn't know I was on here 5 years either. We did it sometime.
I'm even looking for the
It had been done, it
meeting in April.
had been done in the spring, but this April, it doesn't,
It looks like we
Show
missed
that.
April.
It's
Other very interesting matters pressing.
you go back to,
I just had it as a reminder on my calendar. That's
you go
why.
back to April of 22. So we didn't meet between December of 21 and April, May 9th of 2022.
I tell you what, why don't you check September of 23?
September of 23. Oh, I love this monstrosity around here for some reason. September of 23. September of 23. September of 23, after a brief discussion, decided to cast unanimous ballot to the current officer positions with Scott Stewart remaining as president, Billy Blum as vice president, and Dale Thomas Carter as secretary.
You
Motion by
make me
Schaefer,
think
second
I'm
by-
going crazy, Bloom.
No, I just thought the appropriate time would always be after.
I as well, I thought it was after the election in April when the new
That's when-
village board, whatever was set.
That's
So,
when a commissioner can be appointed
yeah,
Right, right.
for renewal or
I think you're
new.
right.
But in September annually, you're supposed to elect officers.
Oh,
And that's the only time, by the way, that we can do that in a closed ballot system. If you would like. Anyway, we need a president, we need a vice president, we need a secretary. Is there anyone that would like to make motions in any way? And by the way, I'm perfectly willing to step aside and let someone else. What?
Really?
Let someone else take this role. If not, I'd entertain motions for names to office.
do they have to be here?
I
like the way you're
This will teach
thinking.
Gavin in a
That
nutshell.
old trick.
It's happened to me.
Well, I mean, the other alternative here is that we do what we did a year ago and we just unanimously stay where we're at.
I so move.
All right, is there any further discussion about that? Corey, got any ideas? The lame duck guy?
I didn't even know we had them.
Yeah,
So,
well, we can entertain that motion and discuss it. Anyone else have anything on that? Gary or Leo? No? All right, if there's no other further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Stay as we are.
In reference to minutes that were published on for the August 20th meeting. Be looking for any corrections or motion to approve those minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion by Bloom, second by Schaefer. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Okay, in reference to item number 7, the police chief position, direction from the FHR committee. I attended their meeting, last Thursday, I want to say, Wednesday or Thursday last week. And, we had been asking for 3 things, and that is give us a salary range for the new police chief, so we can advertise as such. Give us a, the board actually wanted to modify the police chief job description and give us a starting date that you'd like the new police chief to start. Just for information, with regard to a starting date, Chief Drew had indicated a last day date of February 14th, I believe.
Correct.
And although it'll be on the books with some time due for a while after that. It was our hope that we could get a start date for a new police chief around January 15th at latest, but sometime after the new year, January 2nd to the 15th. They were not able to answer that. They'd like to discuss this more with regard to budgetary issues on how to pay both positions while they overlap. They're concerned about that. So we're not gonna have that information for our ad. I think, and we'll talk about the ad in a minute, but I think we post the starting date and flexible to change if the board gives us reasons. It has to be later or somewhat. With regard to the police chief's salary range, the committee recommended, the FHR committee recommended, subject to approval by the entire village board, of a salary range between 72 and 83,000. So that's what we will advertise for. In your packet is a 4-page modified job description that the FHR committee approved. Now that is also subject to approval by the village board, which is tomorrow night. I didn't really, I looked at it, and it was that document that I asked Andrea to glean some information, some summarization from that document that we can use in our advertisement for new chief. But we're not gonna put a 4-page document out. We think that's a little bit of the top, so. So that's the direction we got from FHR, subject to approval from village board tomorrow night. So we'll work with that. I had informed them that our deadline to start advertising is October 1st. We'd like to do a month in October of advertisement, and then have November and December to complete some extensive background investigations, as well as written, or not written, but oral interviews, assessment centers, extensive background investigations, and so forth. I think 2 months, we might be able to tackle all those issues. Searching for that chief. Any questions on the FHR direction that we've been given?
How's that fit with what we were hoping for?
Well, I'm a little concerned about the salary, I gotta admit, but I know what. I think we may lose some candidates because you gotta figure the candidates that will apply for chief are probably sergeant, lieutenant, or captain somewhere else. Most likely, those ranks are making considerably more than the top end of our chief salary. So I don't know too many folks that will come when they gotta take a loss. But, you know, it is what it is. That's our budget, and we'll do the best we can. That's what I say. So we'll see how it goes.
fix that.
Yeah, because if we go back and forth on this, it'll just
Oh,
take
yeah, that's
much longer.
Oh, gosh,
It'll just,
already been
yeah, it's already,
a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other concerns, chief?
No.
Okay,
What was modified in the job description? By FHM.
Mostly just, the work schedule, was kind of vague and I think it had been kind of tweaked and adjusted over time. And it said, we'll work 8-hour days, at the discretion of the chief or something like that. And so they just wanted to take the discretion out on there, although it's still at the discretion of the chief.
and there's a fairly large portion of the document that has to do with physical demands. And stamina, the explosive strength and the limb movement, dodge debris and other hazardous materials.
It's there, it is.
Which,
Dodge a ball.
yeah, I think this is. I think it was borrowed from someone.
I'm sure it was, and that came from, well, I don't remember seeing it prior to me.
Not here.
No,
Okay.
Boz put out job descriptions
Yeah.
at one point and.
Right. So anyway, for our purposes, though, really the important items that are in there are background investigation, medical examination, psychological evaluation, drug screening. And then we add, of course,
Waterboarding.
things that you have experience with, Corey. Water.
Sure you don't wanna stay?
Anyway, so that is still, that's pending board approval tomorrow too. But I don't think it's as big of a concern for us as is the other two items in the direction from FHR.
And so you're gonna put out a summary, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I was gonna pass it out right now, because the next item is review a draft of the, now this will be the. So there's two areas where we advertise for police chief. One is the village website. Under the employment tab.
is what we're talking about.
And this particular document here would go under the employment tab. This was a summary of the 4-page. And with a little bit more information with regard to benefits. So how it works on the village employment page is basically you put a link that is this document. Now, as you see in this document on page 2, Andrea crafted it to be able to, if we want to, include that 4-page document as a link. We can do that. The other thing that we had and we did before is at the very bottom of the second page is that the LE 330, which is a Department of Justice document. It's an application. It's a fairly good application with the state of Wisconsin. And we ask as one of the things for the applicants to return to us on the initial request of documents is resume, cover letter, this DJLE 330. And then we start sifting through their qualifications with that information. So this document is what I'd like you guys to discuss now and tell me if you think it's appropriate or should be tweaked for the village website part.
And the education. Now, I'm sure you get qualified people that don't have any of those 3 schools. I know I had 2 chiefs positions before I got one of those schools, so.
Yeah, and the caveat for that issue is the asterisk at the bottom of leadership skills.
Okay, I didn't get that. Okay, okay.
It gives
I
us a
see.
little,
Gives us-
breathing room, little
gives
leeway,
us to be able to,
yeah. We'll, for like an example, maybe, the guy served, 10 years in the, United States Marine Corps.
as a
and-
sergeant.
As an as a sergeant, and he led people in the past, and here's his, he didn't go to the National FBI Academy, but, his life experience we can count in,
I didn't have the opportunity till my third chief's position to do that, so.
Just on the second page, Scott, on department overview, they had changed that, so I'm only approved for 3 part-time officers.
Thank you. Could you, skim the benefits with the check marks there? I thought I ran all those by Diane and she confirmed them, but I thought maybe you'd look at them as well. Is there any mistakes there?
The only one I'm not positive on is the healthcare. If it's 93 or 92. I might be able
Okay,
to figure that out before we go.
okay, all right. In case,
The generous vacation package is debatable.
well, we can make that.
Well, I mean, for me, it was, I mean, I bargained that. but-
Yeah, right. Oh, so just so you guys know, there have been some discussions with regard to a candidate that this commission believes should be police chief. And, it, we appoint the police chief.
Right.
So there's no board approval that occurs with the police chief.
Right.
What does occur, though, in some cases, is a negotiation with regard to salary and benefits. Because we don't touch those things, we have no authority over that. So, that may occur again, and my suggestion this time was, because I saw an example of what shouldn't happen last time, and that was a candidate that we put forth had to negotiate with a minimum of 4 and sometimes 7 village board members. That's not best practice for human resources. You should give the authority to a HR person, whether that be the village administrator or the village president or anything. It's my opinion, they should have the authority to sit down and negotiate. You can have the board pre-approve a salary window and pre-approve a benefit package, something that might be beyond, because what's gonna happen is, same thing as salary is. You come, this position, a chief's position, someone's gonna come from a place where they've worked probably 20 years. And they probably got 5, 6, 7 weeks of vacation on the books. And they're not gonna wanna come to as a new employee entry level and get 1 to 2 weeks vacation. So that is gonna be an item that's gonna have to be negotiated. What I'm trying to convince them to do is pre-approve a range, salary and vacation. So the candidate that we choose doesn't have to go through this inappropriate negotiation with 7 people, but rather one person, not us,
Right.
but somebody else. So hopefully that's gonna happen. We'll see how it goes. You think?
I'm hopeful.
Okay. What else, guys? I have a question for you. Under the application process section at the bottom of the second page. The first line, a full description is written and approved by the village board can be seen here. Now, that's where I was gonna put a link for the 4-page document. Is it necessary, or is this summary enough, or what's your feelings on that? And we're certainly gonna provide that. Village board approved job description
Yes.
with guys, you know, we could do that in person. Here's a little bit more details. Or do you think that we should put it in this? My concern is we're mixing a summary with a 4-page.
right, you
Yeah.
know, and I think this should be a summary.
Okay,
I'd leave it out.
all right,
You could maybe put some comment like additional information available upon request
yeah,
Upon request.
or will be provided.
will be provided to applicants.
Yeah,
Okay,
That's a good way to do it.
I had no idea that was our website.
oh, you thought it was .gov instead of .org?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure, it's not XOXO.
okay,
I thought there was only 3 X's.
Yeah. That's your professional development library.
right. Let's see,
You lost control, Scott.
I know. You good, Gary?
I'm good.
All right, how about you, Leo?
Fine. So
Cory?
those suggestions are all good.
Okay,
Yeah, very good.
so then,
So,
based on that, I'm probably looking for a motion to approve this, corrected document and publish it October 1st.
So move.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Right, so this is the village, website, document. And this is hard for me to, this was kind of hard for me to share, but this is WileyNet, what's coming around now, and really all they are is check the boxes. Kind of a format that you do electronically. And then you can insert a link.
Share this with me.
You can insert a link, which brings them back to the village website, applications, different things like this. But this is where most chiefs find advertisement for chiefs. It's run by the DOJ. It's a statewide organization. We had guys from from Illinois actually apply for the fire chief through the WileyNet system. So it's a good system. And I think, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin or Scott, can't you get personal notifications with new postings?
I believe so,
Set up?
yes.
I think you can,
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's open to
Danny?
anyone.
Yeah. So anyway, just to give you a broad idea of what WileyNet is, we check the boxes, what we've set up for criteria. We asked for same thing as our summary, the DJLE 330 resume. And then I think there's a place, I remember doing this before, where there's a place you can insert a link to take them to Village of Port Edwards Employment tab. And get the same information as folks that are just surfing the Village of Port Edwards website. So everybody good with this one? WileyNet? If so, could I have the same motion with regard to publishing this October 1st?
I so move.
second.
Moved by Bloom, second by Schaefer. Any discussion?
I did not second that.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was Thomas Gardner. Right? Sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
So who's this Donna Vaughn again?
She's the contact at WileyNet. Where she was the last time
It appears she's a DOJ employee.
yeah,
Yes,
Yeah, so they do, and it's cool because obviously the Village of Port Edwards website is free for us. But the village is a member of Wiley Net. They're kind of broad. They do a lot of legislative updates for administrative folks and everything. So we're a member, so this is free for us as well. So this is a no cost for us to advertise.
How about the national chiefs? I mean, Wisconsin chiefs.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. We did that for fire.
And I'm.
You kind of coordinated that about
I
5, 6
did,
years ago.
And I don't have any contacts there anymore, but,
I do.
but Scott does.
Make it look
Or
good
Chief
for you.
does, Chief.
Good, let's do that.
Because we are a member because Chief Drew is a member.
Great. Scott, do you think you could give me that info via
Absolutely.
email and we'll get that going for
Mhm.
October as well?
Yep.
We'll use the same data.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
That'd be
that's
good.
through the Chiefs Association.
Yep.
yes,
All right, so.
And then how about the Wisconsin municipalities, which we are a member of?
yeah, last time I checked with them, because I tried to do that for fire and they weren't doing it.
League isn't doing it anyway? Even if we pay our dues?
Gotta pay extra.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
I know it's a private nonprofit organization. Everybody thinks it's a state organization. It's not.
No, right.
Yeah.
So we're advertising at the Chiefs Association, Wiley Net and
Local.
Village website.
village website.
No local.
Well, we determined newspapers are not very efficient anymore.
Not at all. Yeah.
We can put it on the sign at the fire department.
Very few of us read
Yeah,
two
we can put it on the
newspapers
sign
every
for
morning.
whatever we wanna do.
Oh, that's your electronic sign.
Mhm.
That's a great idea. Can you send me an email with the amount of spaces that are allowed on one flash?
Sure.
Okay,
I don't think the 4-pager will work on there.
no,
No.
gosh, I
We
know.
can try.
And possibly advertise on the fire department electronic sign.
And the one that everybody gets by mail, the City Times. It's free and everybody gets it by mail.
Yep.
And it's got an ad section. I don't know, is that worth it? I found, when I worked for a place that had a weekly newspaper, I got more information out and everybody read the weekly newspaper. And when I worked for one with a daily newspaper, very few people read it.
Gary, could you check into that? and
I
Get back to me?
can, I'll check with, in fact, I've got a direct line for City Times, Joel, the reporter.
Okay,
So, cause they did stuff for us in American Legion. We did a complete history
great.
of the World War One.
That'd be great if you could check into that.
I'll put that as a tentative.
Okay, I'll check and I'll get back to that.
Sounds good.
And we could social media it after it's on Wiley Net. I think we can share that like on our Facebook page or
Yeah.
whatever, but
Right.
it wouldn't be anything you guys would have to pay for or
Right,
anything like
right,
that. We
yeah.
would just share the information that's already out there.
Gotcha.
And I
Yeah, I
think,
think we did with that with fire too.
I'm not sure.
I think it was on.
It might have been. I don't
On the
remember, to be
village's
honest.
social media.
yeah,
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
No idea. Would you please do that?
Yep.
what I'd look to do is just refer to so-and-so for information, because if you do an ad. It's so many lines, so much per line, and so you would do one.
No, you throw an email address in there like at the
Yeah,
bottom of this or
and then
something. Yeah,
that's-
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So that's good. Can we move on then to the fire chief report? Chief, you got anything for us?
So. I opened up applications for. My vacant captain's positions. My open lieutenant positions and the EMS service director position. I have a closing on the 19th. And then I'll be doing interviews with department officers and membership of the department, and I will be. Bringing those forward once decision has been made on who or if anybody puts in for it or is qualified for it. Tomorrow I go in front of the board for the first responder only. position and the cadet program.
Great. For your assistance with your promotional program, what has been helpful for us in the past is you bringing forth John Smith's name
Mhm.
and also bringing us a little bit of here's his complete training history.
Sure.
And as you can see, commissioners, he has successfully passed all the criteria that's currently set in the village position description.
Yep.
He passes that, and so I'm happy, and then tell us a little bit about the guy.
Sure.
That's helpful for us.
Most certainly.
Okay.
And then I do have an updated roster. I didn't print it, so I was just gonna ask you guys for your emails, which I already have, only not yours and Andrea's. So I could just email it to you guys right now, the updated roster, and then I'll just keep on, then I can just do it electronically over and over again whenever I get new people or
That'd be fine.
people get new positions or whatever the case may be. Then I don't have to keep on printing out, giving it to you.
Somebody moves.
We have some, yep. Then you guys just get an updated roster from me whenever it changes.
Any other pending applications that you know of?
Possibly, but not yet. I don't have. I've had people ask. I have two other people that have asked about it, but they haven't put in their applications just yet.
Okay,
So hopefully,
keep us posted.
hopefully soon.
Well, can you tell me are you 16, 17 member?
Right now we are at,
We're not EMR, based on when the ambulance, you're being requested.
17 right now.
Wonderful.
You don't mind it on the back of the very old membership.
Nope, not at all. Does anybody know
I-
Andrea?
But
I got it right here.
Yeah.
you got, it, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay. Shut my phone off, because it's chattering.
Does, I'm not trying to speak out of place here, but does Jessica have interest in this EMS service director position?
She told me not at the moment. Because she's in nursing school and fire school. So she doesn't wanna stress herself too thin, I guess, the best way to put it. She'd be a great
Not
candidate
that
for
it
it.
has to be this way, but I was thinking of her and thinking to keep everything above reproach, might be advisable if you were gonna recommend her to bring a second candidate as well, especially if there's more than one person
Yeah.
showing interest
For
in
sure.
it.
Yeah, and I guess that would be pending the board approval of the first responder program to begin with.
Nope, I need an EMS chief, or I need an
Oh,
EMS
just
service
the
director for
EMS.
now, already. Just because we already have an EMS program in place.
Right,
And I
I
have
thought that
first
was
responders.
automatic a deputy chief's job. That's changed?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I see. Oh, yeah, sounds good.
So yeah, as soon as I have them done, like I said, the 19th, everything's due. We'll do interviews and whatnot after that, and then I will bring my recommendations forward. Probably won't be until October. By the time everything's settled and
So you want us to meet in October for sure, probably?
sometime in October would be great.
Okay.
Probably like middle if we can.
Anything else, chief?
No, I think that should be about it.
Police chief, Scott? What do you got?
I don't know if you guys heard, but I'm planning on retiring next year.
No.
That's
Yeah.
been a little frustrating. I don't think officially the village board has publicly said in a meeting yet that they've received my correspondence. I know you have in your meeting, but I have not seen anything in any of the village board meetings that have said, oh, we received word from the police chief saying that he is officially done on this day and whatever. So that's a little frustrating, but obviously, hopefully, we're moving forward in the right direction. I did get a resignation from Joe Zerflu, Joseph Junior. As he's accepted the chief's position in Grand Rapids and has been texting me during this meeting. So I'm really happy, usually you're not too happy to get a resignation, but I'm really happy and proud of him. Was kind of hoping he'd be sticking around to apply for my spot, but it is what it is. So other than that, I don't think I really have anything for you guys.
Chief, can you tell me how many part-timers we have on the books?
We have 2 on the books
Okay,
right now, so we are allowed to have 3. I'm still, pondering, where do we go from here? I know that one of our other part-timers has talked about resigning. Just cause she hasn't, worked too much. So I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to start looking for part-time officers. I mean, obviously, I was hoping that we would have had that 4th full-time officer by now. And then the need for part-time would have reduced, but quite honestly, this year, I think we may have had, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 shifts that were filled by part-time. So it's really been insignificant.
so remind me, when you don't have part-timers working, as it seems like say year 2024,
Mhm.
pretty much so.
Mhm.
What have we lost on the street,
Well, we've lost that coverage.
which is, what, 2 days a week? North, or,
No, not, I don't think it's that frequent. It's basically just vacations.
Okay.
So vacations or training if somebody is gone. Otherwise, I mean, with the schedule that we run, we're still, the full timers work 11 A to 11 P. So they're on 2 off, 2 on 3 off. That 3-2-2-3 rotation, just like everyone else is doing. So it's mainly if they take vacation or if they're gone at training. If I'm gone, sometimes they'll adjust their hours depending if school's in session or not. Otherwise, there's times where I adjust my hours, so I work later because if there's,
so just so we know, when
So-
your vacation times is the time where it's really, we're short, and when that happens, we go, hey, Wood County, we're
Yes,
short.
yes.
You got the village.
And the truth is call wise, the county can handle us. There, it's not a big deal. It's just we don't have that proactive.
Yep.
We're not out checking doors or,
Right.
knowing that Ethel's garage door is open and it's usually not. Type thing. So financially, I mean, we're saving money by not covering it. But again, at what cost?
Just jumping into my school board hat for a second,
Mhm.
if you know in advance that we're gonna be on the county and somebody's on vacation or sick or training,
Mhm.
do you let Jim know that?
I don't always, but it
Just,
oftentimes if I'm not around. And we are doing that, there may sometimes be a Trojan horse planted. I let the county know when I park my squad at the school.
Okay.
So we do, I mean, we try to think out of the box as best
Right.
best we
I was
can.
just thinking in terms of the immediacy of response
Yes.
in a
And we've worked really hard.
situation like that.
We were on a very casual basis. With the school, and we're trying to work toward a little bit more of a professional relationship as far as. Most of the time, what would happen is they'd call our cell phone. And a lot of times it's our personal cell, which I never had a problem with, but the problem is if I'm in the dentist chair or whatever, and the school is calling. And I mean, so they knew if it was something serious to call 911. But we're trying to get that, so it's more of a call through dispatch every time. That way, if we're not in, but no, I mean, and working with Shane now, it's been, we have a very open line of communication, so they know, but.
Good, thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind considering one of the 2 part-timers still in the books may resign anyway. If you wouldn't mind start making some calls
Mhm.
and seeing if you can recruit part-time officers.
Mhm. Yeah, and if we stick with my same philosophy that I have. Where we try to recruit full-time officers from.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Current
Yes.
officers, then we wouldn't have to go through the full.
Yeah.
Testing and run and
No,
all that.
I'm completely open for lateral transfer type
Yeah.
situation.
Is there still do the police have that 1-year probationary period? that the fire department has.
They do.
So the new chief would really have the ability.
They would.
To go a different direction if he or she so chose.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so my take on it has been, I've been hiring full-time, people from, that are full-time elsewhere. Some people don't, they wanna hire the young kids and give them a chance, which I'm all for, but unfortunately in the market we're in right now, you can't keep anybody if they're decent, they're being snapped up full-time elsewhere. So it's really kind of changed in our careers, where you used to give the kid in cop school a chance and, they'd stick with you for 2, 3, 4 years before they get hired full-time someplace. And now, I mean, if you make it out of the recruit academy without an offer, it's pretty rare now.
Okay.
So, but yes, I
Yeah, that'd be
I
great.
will
If you-
start
if you
that.
could recruit, try to start recruiting part-time,
Will do.
lateral, that'd be great.
Mhm.
Thanks. Any questions for the chief? Anything else, Scott? Is that it? Okay. If if we could have leave to go off table for a minute. Well, the next thing we're doing is going in a closed session, and that's to discuss a fire applicant who has been interviewed, and we'll be hearing the results of that interview. Before we go into that, which is a private deal, I'd like to ask the member in the audience if he has anything for us, any questions, anything you need?
Nope.
You're good? Okay. If that being the case, I'd like to ask for a motion to go into closed session so we can discuss. Based on state statute 19.851C to discuss employment, review the fire department interview applicant and review that applicant's background check.
So moved.
Any discussion?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
I
6:04.
Let me know when we are back in session, Scott.
You should be good. We are unmuted and video is back.
How come it didn't say recorded started?
Oh, it's been recording the whole time. It's just muted and the video was out. So. Gee.
I trust you. Okay,
Scary.
um, based on discussion, had in closed session regarding the fire department applicant. Is there a motion to place that applicant on an eligibility to hire list pending medical examination?
So moved.
I second.
Moved by Schaefer, second by Bloom. Any discussion? Chief, will you notify the applicant with regard to Aspirus,
Yeah, the occupational health.
occupational health?
Yep. Yeah, I'll get
Will
it.
you?
Oh, yeah, I'll get that all set.
Wonderful, okay. Um. If there's no further discussion, all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. So that is the motion. Commissioner comments. Corey? Anything? Leo? Gary? All right. As I said, I think in reference to, given the police and fire commission report at the board meeting tomorrow, I think what I'll probably do is send the village president an email with, what has occurred in our meeting, so she can report it, since I'm gonna be out of town. If any of you decide you have time and you wanna go in my stay, go, let me know. All right. Next meeting date, are you guys thinking,
No.
the first Monday of October is the 7th. Oh, gosh. I'm gonna be out of town that whole week.
Well, we don't have to meet on Monday.
No, I know.
We don't.
And we can do, I mean, I'm open, 15th, 16th, 17th and 18th of October.
Is the board meeting on the 8th in October?
It'd be the second Tuesday.
Yeah, should be the 8th.
Okay,
You want to meet
so-
Before that,
well, normally we like to, but,
we don't.
You're gone as of the. About October.
I'm gonna be out of town the week of the 7th.
Oh, what date did I put on my resignation letter? Yeah, something like that.
Oh, I saw on the village board, agenda, the village president must have someone in mind to appoint to the PFC, because I saw that on the agenda,
Oh, okay.
so. Tomorrow, so.
Will I leave this to be determined?
Yeah, we can.
We could do that, to be determined,
Okay.
but, just for everyone's schedule purposes, I'm available on Monday, the 14th.
Okay.
I don't know what other committee meetings have this room on the other days of the week. It's hard to say sometimes, but I know it's never Mondays
Right.
Monday's always.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like we always have our commission meetings right before the village board meeting.
Well, we try.
I mean, would it be easier for a variety of reasons to have our commission meeting a week earlier to give everybody a chance to settle out before the appearance at the village court?
It should be the end of September.
Or isn't that a priority?
You know, it's,
Just throwing that out there.
yeah, that's why we generally had the first Monday, but it just has been difficult for schedule purposes sometimes, you know.
Okay. I can almost always clear schedule if I.
If
know
you got
far enough in
notice.
advance.
Yeah, right.
So I'm looking into the last week of September now.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I wouldn't be opposed to September 30th either. That's a Monday. It's the last Monday of the month, right before
October first.
Yeah, shoot, I'm,
You wouldn't be available, Chief?
What's that?
Would you be available the 30th?
Yes.
Sounds like you're going, one than I am.
I'm actually not available that day,
On the 30th?
right?
Okay,
Okay,
How about we tentative do, 10/14?
okay. I mean, let's that is next meeting, 10/14.
Yeah, and then we have to change it, we change it.
Okay.
Because, you know, if we wait till the 14th. That will give us 2 weeks into the advertisement of our new police chief.
That's.
And we can see if we can, review some resumes that day too,
that might be a good idea.
you know, so. I know I'm optimistic, but. All right, let's do that. Let's set it for 10/14.
Okay,
Any other questions? Comments, concerns? All right, let's call this meeting adjourned at 6:09, Leo.
so